You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, it's AFTERBUZZ TV's Game Control Live.
The infinite cuteness. Hey guys, and what is happening? Welcome to Game Control Live, and for those of you who try to join us on the live chat, unfortunately we were running into some technical issues as we have just switched websites on AFTERBUZZ, but check out the amazing website, and we will definitely be live next week, 12 p.m. Pacific time.
We're coming to you.
Definitely. We will absolutely be live next week on Saturday for the live show. But today, E3, oh my god, so many awesome things, and joining us across the table, the cutest two ever, as you can see these matching shirts, Grant Kohrmann.
Hi, everybody.
And Raychul Moore.
Hi guys.
And they obviously did this on purpose. They're like, we just want to matchy match. And
No, that's the thing is we had 3 different shirt options
And we didn't see each other at
and
E3 either.
8 different designs to choose from, and we just happened to choose the exact
possibilities
same
are
thing.
endless.
I know.
it was come to work in your E3 shirt day.
And we showed up in the same shirt.
Exactly.
All right, and sitting next to me, the lovely Kaori Takee.
Hey guys, I am wearing the Last of Us demo shirt you receive when you play it.
And guys, I'm Dave Klein. I did not have an amazing E3 shirt because I didn't have time to get any swag. I got a cap, and I don't wear baseball
Dave,
caps. But I do have this amazing Peakman sticker that John was kind enough to let me
He's so
use.
cute.
Amazing. So one of the red Peakman, and I love it. And in the booth with us, John Quick.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? As you can see, I'm looking fun, fine, and sexy free as always. Of course, no one's commenting on this, so just proceed to YouTube it out. And
Yeah.
No one's commenting.
Well-
Comment down below.
But we will have, I assure you, we will have the live chat open next week. So guys, E3 is what we're going to talk about. We're going to start by talking about the press conferences. We were all there, so we're going to talk about being at the show floor. Every one of us, John included, all there. Our E3 moments of the week, some E3 quick hit stories. That's right. And then we'll get on some comments from our past YouTube.
all E3.
And guys, if you like this song, the name of it is DuckTales Remastered Moon Theme Remix. Orchestra remixes by Plasma 3 Music Remixes. And no, it is not the actual DuckTales song from DuckTales Remastered. It's just what this guy thought maybe the Moon Theme would sound like on DuckTales Remastered.
Tired.
But amazing song. All right, with that said, let us go ahead and get started and jump into the press conferences because, man, it was kind of a crazy E3 press conference because this was the first time that people thought there was really a definitive winner for the press conferences. But let's go ahead and start talking about Microsoft's press conference because that's who started us off.
Right.
What did you guys take away from it?
It was pretty good. I actually liked it, despite all the they stuck to their guns, which saddened me. But at the same time, like it's still. I mean, these are pretty well produced. They don't have as many problems as in the past. Although there were some mic problems with the Ubisoft one.
Well, there were some mic problems with Crimson Dragons where we're going to get to watch anything. Actually, Crimson Dragons, I saw
No
this.
audio.
This was there's no audio for the Crimson Dragons if you go watch the press conference, and that was basically a sequel to Panzer Dragoon.
Someone got fired.
But I love this tweet from Peter Molyneux. That's the joking Twitter account of Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux tweeted out, "The most exciting game so far is the one where you control the dragons with cheers and laughs." And it was
goodness
amazing
gracious.
to me. I love that tweet.
It's a new feature of the Connect One.
But
Is that what we're calling it, by the way? It's not just the Connect. We'll call
I guess
it
we can call it the Connect One.
Okay.
Connect One.
Sure.
call them the other one Connect 2, so
I
you
still
know.
call it that stupid shit that I don't want.
No.
So, some of the games that got me excited personally, I think Titanfall does look cool. I'm not super amped up about it, but it does look cool. Sunset Overdrive looks cool to me because it reminds me of Jet Set Radio meets Mirror's Edge, which are two games that I like. So I'm like, okay.
that could combine well. I
when
could see that combining
So
well.
it could be cool, it could not, but I like thinking about it
Roller
that
skates
way.
and Mirror's Edge. I love that.
Below looked cool to me. D4, Dead Rising 3. I've been a big fan of that franchise, and actually Rise surprised me. I was surprised how cool Rise looked to me. And I mean, Microsoft showed Dark Souls 2, so I was like, All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Do you
it
like
was-
that
it was
big ass
solid.
Dark
It was a
Souls 2
solid.
poster on the side of the?
As I was driving the E3, the first thing I saw was a Dark Souls 2
Yeah,
poster, and I
it
was
was
like,
giant.
"This was meant to be."
Yeah, Dark Souls equals Dave Klein.
I'm okay with that.
But that, yeah, there were one or two big stunners out of the PlayStation conference, but the Xbox One was it was filled with a lot of stuff. It was jam packed. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what?
yeah.
There were a lot of games they showed that I actually do want. I'm still disappointed by their policies.
But then I
though.
got on the show
Yeah.
floor and I played some of them, and not so much.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. So after Microsoft, we had like Ubisoft and EA's conferences, and I mean Ubisoft. I liked Rayman Legends, and actually the crew was a surprise for
Yeah.
me. I was really surprised by how cool the crew looked.
It's the idea, but if you remember Burnout Paradise, like
Well, that's what I took it as, Burnout Paradise, but a kind of like a bigger version of Burnout Paradise, and sort of I guess they're adding an MMO aspect to Burnout Paradise.
Yeah.
I don't know
It-
how much I like that.
I don't like the I don't know.
Is it more racing sim?
No, it's actually
it's a
very,
little
it kind of
it's
throws the
arcadey.
racing sim out the window,
Good,
and
good.
it's more
It's
about,
arcadey.
like, yeah.
Good.
If it was racing sim, I wouldn't have been
Because
interested.
Burnout Paradise went a little too racing sim for me. I like
God,
Takedown
you
and
would
Revenge.
hate Gran Turismo. Then.
I do. I do. Oh God, yes, I
Well,
do.
when I say Burnout Paradise, and that's what it reminded me of, I just mean the fact that it's kind of open worldly.
Yeah, you roam
can
around.
drive around
You
all the
roll
big
up to
world,
a-
and you roll up to races
An
and things like that.
intersection, and then there's a group of rivals there, or an event would start at an
But it looks
intersection.
arcadey.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
So,
I'm interested then.
and EA didn't have much for me. I mean, they basically just showed some PopCap game
Well,
stuff.
they gave themselves to. I mean, they're publishers of some of these other titles.
Right, like Ubisoft, all their big titles ended up being at the Sony press
Yeah.
conference.
Although I did like the Ubisoft presentation. It was like, ooh.
EA's press conference was basically, hey, we've got a lot of stuff going on at EA Sports.
Yeah,
so you guys know.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's their booth was kind of the same way too. You just
Yeah,
walked
it
in, it
was.
was like, we like sports.
And here's Titanfall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
over in the corner.
That's where they make
can
the
I-
most of their money, though.
Can I chime in going back to Ubisoft? How
No.
How fucking well? I'm gonna do it anyway, Dave. Want to bet? How fucking hilarious was it to see Aisha Tyler standing next to like Yves Guillemot and all those other like apparently
And she chose
dwarfish
really
French
high
guys.
heels
Yeah.
as well. She wasn't just like wearing flats or like, like some shoe to put her on parity with all those people. She was like, yeah, I'm already taller than all of you, and I'm gonna wear like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have very good size comparison, but those look like they were like 6 or 7 inches tall at the very
She's
least.
Was it just
Staggered
the
over
heel,
them.
like as in
No, and
the
then
high heel, or was
the
it?
shoe was also on a platform
Okay, so they
as
were
well.
platformed. All right.
Yeah.
Uh,
It-
she
yeah.
staggered over them.
Yeah.
I find I
She was, like,
love
almost
Aisha
twice as-
Tyler, but I thought
twice
she
as tall.
fell a little flat. Honestly, I didn't find her to be very funny myself.
I don't think you need to be funny for that kind of stuff.
But no, but she was throwing out jokes. So I mean, if she was throwing out constant jokes, you'd want them to be funny.
And she used to be on the Soup, so
She
she's
was-
supposed
she
to be
was
funny by
professional.
default.
And she's amazing on Archer.
Oh, I don't want. Oh wait,
She should
I
have just
have seen
presented
that.
it entirely in that character, the character from Arch.
Now that's my anytime I watch her, I'm like, it's Lana on stage. But so then the big one to me was Sony, because I mean, I think everyone was like, haha. I saw one person wrote onto a YouTube combo breaker for the end of Sony's press conference.
Fatality.
It's
like,
just
I saw a
one
lot of
thing
that
after
stuff.
another.
The memes that have come
I
out
was
of that are
very.
just
I
insane.
wasn't there for the press for the conferences itself, but I was very impressed with Sony from reading the Twitters and all the people talking about it, and I was really happy with a lot of the policies they put in.
Sorry.
That was awesome.
I hope that's on camera.
I like how they
happened?
handled
It
the
probably was.
the pen cap just flew off. It was kind of amazing.
How dare you while
Ladies
I'm
and gentlemen,
talking.
actually, if you check, I know that we were apparently not live chatting, but I think we have the stream up and going now.
Oh, sweet.
I believe the stream is active.
Maybe because
and-
we were talking about Sony.
And if it's not,
And all
I
of our
mean,
viewers are gone.
yeah, oh yeah, no one's there. Shh.
We can
John,
Twitter
look
it
at
back
okay.
out.
All right, cool. We're great. We're up live. We can tweet out about it. But let's keep on talking about Sony. So,
I like how Sony dealt with the sharing the sharing of the games.
Yeah.
They made it sound like it was going to be some big ordeal and big and then you got to do this and you got to do that. He's like, this is how we share our games, and he just handed the guy
yeah,
here.
that is going to be my moment that I'll talk on. But I love that. And you know what, though? Here's the thing. I was looking at all the exclusives games, and I think Xbox One actually had a larger slew of exclusives.
That's a good word. I've said
that-
that before too.
Yeah,
Good
that-
use of the word.
That I thought kind
I
of
used it a
pulled
couple
me
times.
in.
But no Uncharted 4.
But yeah, Sony didn't have a lot. Like Sony's press conference was Watch Dogs, which is multi-platform, which
And where
looks
the hell is
cool.
The Last of Us? Seriously.
Well, they
That's
talked
PS.
about The Last of Us
no,
was there.
no, it was.
It's because it's
Watch
coming
Dogs-
out this week.
No.
That's why.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was really. I will admit.
I mean, not The Last of Us.
Watching
Sorry.
onto the walking onto the floor and seeing people play The Last of Us, knowing that like you've already played it and that there's people playing
Yeah.
it at home was a
The
little
Last
weird.
Guardian.
Just a
I
tiny
meant
bit
The
weird.
Last
okay.
Guardian. Where
Yes.
the hell?
I know it didn't come out until yesterday, but
But what's
still.
the problem? I went to go play it and I got it
Yeah.
shared.
Good,
No,
because
no,
The
that's
Last of
fine.
Us is the shit. But no,
yeah,
what
I
I meant to
agree.
say is
Last
where the hell
Guardian.
is The Last Guardian?
That's the one
What
big title I
the
wanted
hell?
to see was Last Guardian. I totally agree with you. And I think Sony Rumors, one of our friends who was on last week, tweeted out something about how Last Guardian is still in production. They're still making it, but where is it?
So are count them, 3 Assassin's Creed titles. What?
Yeah, exactly. 3 Assassin's Creed titles have come out since then, too.
And then there's 3 more in development right
You know what? I
now.
will say Black Flag, I haven't gotten an Assassin's Creed or played one since Brotherhood, and this is the first one I'm actually like, Pirates, that actually sounds really cool to me. I really actually am interested
The
in Black
gameplay
Flag.
was actually very cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool to me. But you know what else?
I will
was
say
Final
this.
Fantasy 15.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Is that a positive?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because that really got me excited.
We need like special effects that John can queue up, and then like your
No.
head is just like.
Yeah,
Blowing up. Yeah.
I don't want to get Dave splatter on me.
Okay, hold on, Rachel. If you don't like Final Fantasy though, because of the turn-based aspect, it looks.
But I don't like the story, and I don't like the characters, and I don't like the artwork style. I didn't like
She
any.
just covered
Okay.
everything,
Really?
right?
All right, because I was about to say
I
this
don't
one
like
looks
the music.
action RPG-esque, like
Bam.
Kingdom Hearts or like Secret of Mana. To me, it looks like because that's
did.
what Final Fantasy 13 Versus was, and this looks like it's still gonna be an action RPG. So I don't know. It blew me. I'm like, this looks amazing.
It does. I want to hug you so bad right now because I was so excited to see that.
I
You're
was
sitting right next to him. What's stopping you? Seriously.
Final Fantasy 15. And I've been waiting so long to hear about Final Fantasy Versus 13. Every year I'm like, when are they going to show it again? When are they going to show it again? It turns out, no, Final Fantasy Versus 13 is now Final Fantasy 15. And Kingdom Hearts 3. And by the way, also
Hearts
Kingdom
2.
Hearts 3, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm all about that. Even though it is turn-based, it is Disney, so I like it.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is
2 was turn-based-ish.
ish. What's an action RPG? No, it's an action RPG.
2 was an action RPG.
There's some real.
Yeah,
time
no, I
elements
think you're
to it.
thinking
You're thinking of,
about
like,
Chain of Memories.
You're
Chain
thinking
of
of Chain of
Memories.
Memories.
No, but even 2 was still turn-based-ish. It
I
wasn't
think
like Dragon
it's
Age.
It's your definition of what it is, because you don't play a lot of turn-based games, do you?
No.
So I think it's your definition of how far it can go towards a certain okay, I'm stopping the action, I'm making choices before you call it turn-based.
Yeah, you know what? I see what you're. It does still have
Because,
that
like,
menu
that-
option where you
Right.
choose attack and you
As
choose
far as
magic. So yes,
JRPGs
that,
go,
I
like
get that.
the contextual menu choices.
It wasn't me running up going slash, slash, slash. Okay, slash, slash, slash.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that is turn-based-ish for me.
Well,
Maybe not all the way,
I
but-
refer to the mechanic in Transistor, Greg Cassavin's game from Supergiant's games, as turn-based, even though technically it's not turn-based. I refer to it a lot as that, so I do understand what you're talking about.
And you know what was a cool tech demo? I mean, even I was kind of curious. I thought it was going to be a game, but the one from Quantic Dream, the sorcerer thing that they showed.
Yeah, they showed a little bit of it before during the
During the
Sony
PS4,
reveal.
during the reveal.
Was that the PSN title?
No, that was the PS4 title where it had the old man talking and he's summoning something, and then all of a sudden it turns out he's in a green screen area, and it's just
British actor.
Okay,
that's
yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
Racist
Interesting.
green goblin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was thinking that too. That was a little racist with the Green Goblin thing. But you know what though? I want to talk about is Mega Man is in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Mega Man. Mega Man.
That bothers me.
Why does that bother you?
It's just weird.
Mega
Why
Man
is it
represents
weird?
Nintendo to me because of Mega Man 1 through 6 and Mega Man X1 through X3.
The fact that he wasn't there was a little
it
bit odd
feels
for me
like
up until
Nintendo.
now as well.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
See,
For me, Mega
Solid
Man.
Snake was an odd choice. That was
yeah,
weird.
that was weird.
But Mega Man feels so Nintendo
It's a
to me.
conciliatory effort, I think, because they really haven't been able to lock down all their Mega Man titles over the last 5-6 years. So like, hey, we're gonna cancel the Mega Man MMO. We're gonna cancel this Mega Man game. We're not gonna confirm that we have Mega Man titles in development, but here he is inside Super Smash Brothers.
Isn't his anniversary coming? His birthday or something? Wasn't it this year?
I think his 25th anniversary is last year.
Okay.
When I think Mega Man, I don't think
Done and
Nintendo.
over.
I
And
do.
I don't know, for some reason, it just feels weird to me, but not as weird as Mario and Sonic together.
See, it's funny. I completely associate
Really?
Mega Man with Nintendo. Like, completely associate
I
them.
still feel kind of weird that Sonic is in the
Word
Nintendo
association.
mix.
Mega
even though
Man.
he's been there for a while.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
no, Mario and
Nintendo.
Sonic
Nintendo,
together
yeah.
weirds me out
Right?
no matter what.
Yeah.
Like
No.
Sonic walking around with Mario at the Nintendo booth at E3
it
was
was
like,
different.
that just,
Well,
I
all
wasn't
the
sure how I
characters
felt
were
about
there.
that.
Look, I agree that's really weird with Sonic, but Sonic is the only character that I don't associate with Nintendo that I wanted to see in Smash Brothers. Because how could you not want Mario fighting Sonic?
Right,
That
yeah,
is like
them
the battle
fighting
of the
is good.
century.
I mean, I think Mega Man is a great addition to Smash Brothers. It's just, again, I just don't associate him with Nintendo, which is weird, but
I really do.
he's going to be an awesome addition.
Oh, but we've also got Animal Crossing, so we got the kid, and then we've also got the Wii
I
Fit
love
trainer
the
girl.
memes that came out of that announcement with the kid,
Wii
the
Fit
villager,
trainer girl? Oh, the villager?
the villager. Oh my God, those are so good. Like, okay, if you're not familiar, internet memes. There's creepy pictures of kids have been associated with like kids killing their families, murders, like all that stuff. I know it's a little bit dark and whatever because we've had so many news events with people killing people and whatnot. But the villager kid has now been associated with like that creepy, ominous kid who just like kills everybody or he's going to kill you.
That's so
That's
funny.
there are
awesome.
He's such a
I
sweet
need to
little
see
guy.
these.
Yeah. Okay,
Ah, that's fantastic.
yeah, this is what I was talking about. He is everywhere.
I adore that.
He also has
Oh.
such a devil face. I need to pick that game up today, actually.
Wait, you don't have it yet?
No, because I was dumb. I didn't want to get it before E3 so I could focus on E3. And then I found out while I was at the Nintendo booth, oh, if you brought Animal Crossing with you, you could have gone to Reggie's house and got exclusive stuff. And I'm
Yeah, and did you
What?
see-
Really?
did you
I
see
didn't
what
know
it
that.
is?
And I had Animal Crossing
Reggie's
in my
house
3DS
has, like-
as I walked around the
Reggie's
Nintendo
house
booth.
has Reggie, that my body is ready bed sheets.
I didn't know we could
Yeah.
do that.
yeah, you could. And I was like, I thought about
Really?
picking up Animal Crossing just while I was at E3, but I was so busy interviewing. I was like, you know what? I just don't have
had
time.
Animal Crossing E3 and I didn't go to Reggie's house.
But you know what else though, and before we move on from Smash Brothers, is that if you watch the trailers, every single trailer features a boxing arena. So I think we might see Little Mac this time, and I really want to see that.
I think so, yeah.
Because I love Punch Out so much. So my theory, I think we're gonna see Little Mac this time actually be playable.
That would be
Bald
cool.
Bull.
That would
That'd be
amazing.
crazy.
So tweet out Dave Klein thinks Little Mac's gonna be on it. I'm calling you right now. Little Mac's gonna be on
God,
Smash
Little Mac
Brothers.
would be such a great throwback.
I think
But
that
what
they're
did you
going to
guys-
have the ability to include so many other characters which haven't been
They're actually
announced.
saying that they're not going to because they're also putting on the 3DS. They're not going to be putting as many, like, a huge amount of characters, which sucks. Don't let the 3DS limit you for putting characters in,
Yeah, but
please.
they don't have limitations like they used to anymore.
Well,
They
because of
actually-
DLC, too.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot. They wouldn't. Oh, I guess they would. They would make mistakes like that.
You just need to play Final Fantasy VI, Rachel.
But I would hope that they wouldn't make mistakes like that, and they
Six.
would build it.
Or
so that
four.
they could
Everybody
put
says
that kind of
7.
stuff in the
7's like
game.
the most
6 is
popular.
definitely better.
6 is better, but I'm just gonna have to say if she doesn't like turn-based, it doesn't matter
you're
what.
not-
Well,
We
I'm
don't
talking
know.
about the story and the characters, though. It's completely different than 7. It took it in a new direction.
If she isn't willing to, if she
We're
doesn't
talking about
like
Final
all
Fantasy, guys, by the
aspects
way.
of Kingdom Hearts, including the pseudo turn-based stuff that we were talking about at the very beginning, then I don't think you could get her interested in
Okay,
Final Fantasy.
but what did you guys think about Nintendo overall? Because honestly, their Nintendo Direct really disappointed me.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then, when I was actually interviewing the Nintendo people, I was like, wait, actually, these are all games that I want. Which is funny, because their Nintendo Direct made me think, like, wow, this is it?
They
This
could
Nintendo Direct
have
sucks.
had a live press conference, and they could have shown all the games that they showed on the show floor. They could have explained it, because I was standing on the show floor, and I'm sure we'll talk about this in a couple minutes, but
Yeah.
I was in the Nintendo booth, and I actually had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of things
Yeah.
to
I
play.
had so much fun at the Nintendo booth.
But what did you think of the actual Nintendo Direct, though? Because I was really disappointed by it.
Nah.
I didn't watch it.
Well, the live US
That right
stream
there
actually
says
didn't
it.
work. The live US stream didn't work, but the UK stream, so I had to switch to the UK stream. There was
Did
one.
they talk differently?
But my favorite announcements were Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, because I love Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's my favorite Wii game. And X. X looks amazing. It's the sequel. It's by the same team that did Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii, which was a really good JRPG.
Bayonetta.
X looks really good.
Nah.
Bayonetta 2. I
don't like Bayonetta.
I had this fun conversation
Short
with Bayonetta
hair.
2. I was interviewing one of the PR guys about it who was on Nintendo Direct, and he was talking about how reaching infinite climax and how you have to do it. And I'm like, oh, so you're gonna be climaxing all over the place in Bayonetta 2. I had to go there.
I was looking at.
Okay, this is one thing I want to ask. We do have some people in the chat. I want to ask everybody. Bayonetta 2 was announced. They show pictures of her with short hair. You all know that her costume is made out of her hair. So if she has short hair, what the hell is her costume
I actually
made
asked
of?
during the interview.
And then on top
the
of
answer
that,
was?
do you think that it's a tongue-in-cheek joke about what they did to Dante with Devil May Cry? Do you think that like it's
doubt.
like
I don't
because
think that.
Bayonetta is
Well, it's
filled
by
with
the
a lot
guy.
Of, yeah, and
Okay.
Bayonetta is filled with a lot of that type of comedy.
Yes.
Both those
Yes.
games are. For
It
that
is also
matter.
by the same guy who made the original Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
So
No.
I want to see if people in the chat
That was
kind of think that. What
Devil May
the
Cry.
hell is up with their costume?
yeah, Devil
and
May
then
Cry, that's
what
what
the
I
hell
meant.
up
Yeah.
how about the hair?
All I can remember is out of all of the cosplayed women or booth babes that were there, I think the Bayonetta 2, whoever that poor model they had in there, she looked so uncomfortable in that costume.
There were
Like,
not
yeah.
enough booth babes at E3.
Oh,
Let's
that's
just be honest.
Seth was annoyed about that too. But we had booth dudes this time, and we had
Those
other
are
booth
called
things.
booth boys.
Booth boys with a Z. Booth,
Booth
boys.
bros.
Booth bros. Yeah, booth
Sony
bros.
had the best grouping of booth people because they had like a fat princess, they had
Yeah.
Parappa the Rapper, they had Sackboy, they had Kratos, they had Nathan
were you ever
Drake.
there when they all got together?
No.
They had each of them come out because obviously, like having someone in that poor goddamn Sackboy costume the entire freaking convention must have been a problem. But they every once in a while they'd get them all out there and they had them in the front on the show floor for pictures. And like seeing them all together really kind of gives you the like feeling that oh yeah, Sony was like they really wanted this to be a central part of their booth.
They should have then fought like they do in All Stars.
So,
that'd be
but for
crazy.
Bayonetta
Each
2,
other
though, the
over.
hair thing we were talking about, I actually asked that question about the hair, Kaori, and the response was, he goes, what, of all things that are ridiculous, that's what you're going to ask? And I said on camera, I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
way to avoid the question, and I
Yeah.
moved on.
He's calling your question
That fan
ridiculous.
says,
That's not a ridiculous
No, that's called
question at
avoiding
all.
the question.
Oh, her hair grows instantly?
Yeah, it moves
But
around
still
and it grows
not-
length and all that stuff.
Okay.
But back to Nintendo really quick. Mario Kart was freaking
Yes,
awesome.
Mario
I was
Kart.
surprised because I thought I'd be tired of the Mario Kart when they announced it, and as soon as they showed the gravity thing, I was like, wow.
Yeah, the tracks
that's
can go
cool.
upside down. You can
Yeah.
do the cart. I played Princess Peach, so I was on a bike. You could do tricks to gain speed while you're in the
Yeah.
middle
A
of
lot
the
of
air.
shortcuts.
Your
A lot.
cars can turn into like parasails. You can drive underwater. Just holy
Yeah.
There's
crap, Mario
motorcycles.
Kart.
And Mario Kart 8 was surprisingly cool.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Super Luigi? Because I liked it.
I
will say
liked
this.
it.
When I said I stood in the middle of their
We
booth
just knew
and I
about it
looked
for a long
around,
time.
Yeah, but
when
you
I
got to
stood in
play-
their booth and I looked around and I said that I saw a lot of stuff that I wanted to play and I played, there was a drawback. I sat there and I turned like one spot and I turned around and I saw the Sonic game, the new Mario game, and the new Luigi game. And at certain points, they all three look the same. So I think that
The
they're
new
like
Sonic game
they're
doesn't.
gonna no, but like
Yeah.
like the Sonic game when you're playing in
You're
the 3D
right, it's a
mode looks like-
platformer, so it looks the same.
no, it's not that. It's
With a
just that-
mascot character.
It's that they seem to be rendering in a very similar, if not the exact same engine.
Mario 3D
So-
Land.
But isn't that kind of what
Mario
I felt
3D
the
Nintendo
World.
same.
does?
No, but I felt the same way when I saw Mario 3D, the new Super Mario 3D
Mario
World, whatever
3D
it's
World.
called. Yeah, I kind of it looked and played a little bit too much like new Super Mario
3D
Co-op
Land.
Brothers.
But that's kind of like what Nintendo does. They all have like a very
No, but
similar.
no, I
And
disagree. I
I had
disagree.
to remind myself that some of these games are going to be spaced out much further than I'm normally
But
used to
no, but
seeing.
here's the thing
So
is-
it's going to be a while before one game comes out and then the next one follows.
But let's go back and think of past Mario titles, and I'm not talking about Mario grouping games, but true, straight up just Mario games.
Yeah.
Mario 64 was a freaking game industry changer.
Yeah.
That changed video games. And then after that, we had Sunshine, which was another game that was a lot
That's
different
actually
than
my favorite 3D
everything.
Mario.
Yeah, but it was different than everything
clean
we'd seen
things.
before.
Yep.
And then after that, we had Super Mario Galaxy. Again, different than anything we'd seen before. Super Mario World 3D or whatever they're calling it does not change the industry. It does not look like anything I haven't seen
No, it's
before,
just
and
Super-
it's not a jump from
Well, it's
from what we are used to from Nintendo.
I agree
Why does
with
it have
you.
to be a jump though?
Because they've been doing that since the beginning. Even Super Mario 3 was something that the industry had never seen before. So it seems like every new true Mario game we get was something we'd never seen before. It was a change in the industry. And now I feel like we're just kind of getting the same platform from Nintendo instead of them being game changers like they used to be.
Well, here's the other thing about Super Mario 3D World is it's more of a sequel to Super Mario 3D Land, which was on the 3DS.
Which we've had too many of already.
Which, okay, first of all, it was a good game, but wasn't fantastic.
Right.
And I agree with you. What I want to see out of Wii U is a fantastic new Mario game that, even if it's not revolutionary, one of those big titles like Sunshine or Galaxy, that's what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is my big gripe with it is, okay, the 4-player co-op thing is cool, and I like that they have that, but every time they do that, I think it ruins the design of the Mario games because they try to design it so it works for 4 players, but it completely ruins the whole
My
everything.
playthrough was very hectic.
But here,
Yes.
but here this,
And
yeah,
I died a ton.
I couldn't see what was going on.
But Mario had always been, you really did have precision platforming
Yes.
before Mario,
But
and
I
it
saw
takes
some
away from
group of
that.
people
Yes,
working together.
absolutely.
And if you
I
play
played
by
it-
yourself because they try to make it work for 4 players, it's not very fun if you play
I played
alone.
it
Agreed.
I played it relatively by myself. I played it in a group of people who I wasn't working with. But if you're working together, it can be very rewarding.
It can be, but you need 4
And
people, and I want
it
to see a
has
true Mario
kitty
game.
cat suits.
But okay, so on the flip
Kitty cat suits.
on the flip
Kitty
side
cat
though, I had a
suits.
lot of fun playing
Pink
with
kitty
people.
cat.
Yeah.
Because when you play
looked too
when you play
cute.
with the Wii U, you actually get to interact with people. When I'm playing with my PS3, I'm like, go away, go cook dinner or whatever. And
But I want a Mario game that makes me feel like 3 did, and Sunshine, and 64, and Galaxies, and 3D World is not doing that for me.
I mean, I get that.
And I do think it has a lot to do with being 4-player.
And here's the thing: I have no issue with this game coming out. I don't have a problem with it. I just would have liked to have seen a real Mario title like Rachel wanted. But Caps fans John on the chat, who actually I met at E3 at an
He's
after party.
fantastic,
awesome guy.
isn't he?
Yeah, he is great. He makes a decent, a good point, which is remember, kids growing up now never got to play old school Mario.
Yeah.
All of us might think it's not revolutionary, but kids who haven't seen Mario will love it. And that is a good point. If you haven't seen Mario, I'm sure you will love it. And that's what Nintendo's good at.
I'm just tired of the 3 or 4-player co-op Mario
on the
games.
show floor, I ended up like taking everything in and taking each game by itself. And I'm looking at the lineup here again, and it's the first time I've looked at it in about 2 or 3 days. Honestly, like still, Nintendo has one of the strongest lineup of games in the next 2 years.
Well, yeah.
It's like you look at that, and I'm like, okay, I want to buy that. I want to buy that. Definitely gonna get that. I need to get that.
Well,
And
that's the funny thing to
I
me.
could pick and play. I can pick and choose out of other companies' lineups, but
Yeah.
like Nintendo's, I'm buying like 5 of those games.
It's
at
because
least.
they're
Yeah.
a strong first-party system, and
Yeah.
their first-party games will always sell well.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing to me is, like I said, I wasn't blown away at all by the Nintendo Direct. I was actually disappointed by it. But then when I finally realized, I was like, wait, I want so many games of theirs.
Yeah.
I totally didn't realize that. And yeah, and actually the only moment watching everything that I said anything, I verbalized, I felt like a giant nerd, and I am, but usually I don't, if you're looking at me, you don't usually get that from me. But when I was laying in bed because it was 7 in the morning watching Nintendo Direct, and when they did Super Smash Brothers, and as soon as the Mega Man thing showed up in the shadow, I was like, wait, is that Mega Man? And then it made the noise and his helmet came on, and I was like, oh my god, it is
He
Mega Man.
does look
And I
really cute
literally,
there.
And I literally out loud, I screamed out, yes, in my bed. And I never do that. And I was like,
Right.
wow, I can't believe I did that.
That's
and by the way,
awesome. That does look
if you
really
look at
good.
that background, that's the Punch-Out boxing arena that I was talking
Yeah.
about that you see everywhere. So, yeah, I really think Little Mac's going to be on it. But with that said, guys, we have the 888 on the chat saying that he thinks Sony was the best, then Nintendo, then Ubisoft, EA, and Microsoft last in terms of press conferences. Who
really
do you
don't
guys
think
think
Microsoft
crushed
was
it?
bad.
Well, yeah, I don't think they were bad either. But who do you guys think crushed it? What do you think was the best press
I
conference?
kind of put Sony and Microsoft in one category, Nintendo in another, for some reason.
Most people do. Most
Yeah,
people always
so-
put PlayStation and Xbox together.
Yeah, so
Well, I think now since with Nintendo Direct, it was very different. They didn't even have a press conference.
Yeah, well, Nintendo's doing their own thing anyways.
well, a lot of people are saying Sony crushed and annihilated Xbox One, and I kind of feel like watching those two, I would probably buy the PS4. And I had the PS3, and
I
definitely-
pre-ordered both, so I will be getting both.
Well, you're so lame,
all of them.
Rachel.
All
You
the
are
games.
so
All
lame.
Make a choice.
No, I can't. I've been saving up since last year, so I could get both at release.
I'm
So
sure,
I'm ready.
I'm probably getting both too, but I mean, I think the company I'm working with is actually going to be providing them for me. But the thing is, this is what I was telling a friend. When the PS1 came out, I bought a Sega Saturn. When the PS2 came out, I bought a GameCube. When the PS3 came out, I bought an Xbox 360.
What
and I
kind of
always
system are you following?
Hold on, I always ended up getting them all, but I'm just talking about the first console I got off of launch were those consoles. This is the first time if I
So you're
for
like
whatever.
the underdog. You like root for the underdog. And
No,
you
it's
go
just
out and buy
those
the
are
one
always
that-
the games that I want are
okay.
on those systems. So this is the first time that, I mean, granted things don't happen. I don't end up getting them luckily for free by working in the industry. This is the first time the PS4 will be the one that I get.
See, I was opposite. I mean, all of my systems were always Nintendo first, but between the two, I was always more of a Sony fangirl until the 360. The 360 and the PS3, the 360 totally won me over, and I went not from being a Sony fangirl anymore, more to being Xbox. But I think both systems are going to offer me something different, and they're
Although I
both going to
have
offer me
owned
something the
3
other will not.
individual Xboxes.
I'm just so against the 24-hour online authentication thing. I'm so against that. I do not. I want to own my games. I don't want to be given permission to play the games I own. That's why I'm against it.
Well,
I know
Sorry, Rach.
we were
Sorry,
talking
Kaori.
we were talking about this last week, and I said like I thought that Microsoft will turn it off, and if Sony announces the DRM stuff, they'll turn off the authentication. But I had a small
But they
realization
can't because of the way that they do their games.
They install all their games to the hard drive, so that when you're sitting there playing on the console, you don't have to take out a disc and put a disc in.
Right.
So they have to have the authentication in. I just don't think that they're going to make the used games as difficult as they were.
I know like the Xbox is trying to show that they're a really ultimate home entertainment system, so it's $500, but also the fact that the PS4 is going to be $100 less, and it's really more for the gaming people. That's a big selling point, is the price tag.
Yeah. Okay. So ADV Zafan on the chat says, Sony crushed. Obviously, Sony crushed, bitch slapped the shit out of Microsoft.
I
And
said
Caps
they
fan
publicly
John
eviscerated
says
them.
people are making a huge deal about things that literally don't affect them at all with the Xbox One. Most of these restrictions do not have any impact on my game playing.
Totally agree. I've been saying that from day one. Day one. I'm
here's the thing to
always
me.
online anyways. I'm never not
Look,
online.
I've been.
And how many
I've
games
lived.
have I
I
given
get
to
offline
GameStop in the
sometimes.
last,
I've lived in
3
houses
years?
where my game console is in my basement, and just the online does not reach the basement. So therefore, I wouldn't be able to play my games on my Xbox One because my console's in my basement.
How many years ago was that, Dave?
That was probably 6 years ago.
How much better has
4 years
Wi-Fi
ago.
technology got?
No, it still won't reach my basement in my hometown, and I live in my
Did the
hometown.
Xbox even come with Wi-Fi 6 years ago?
It doesn't matter. We have the Wi-Fi thing on my Xbox 360 at home. It still will not reach my basement.
I'm with you, Dave.
It doesn't
I'm with
matter.
you.
The point is, though, why I don't want it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I don't want to have to ask for
Do you know what
permission
I
to
did
play
as
a game
kid?
I own.
Do you know what I did
How
as a
can
kid?
you be
I crawled
supporting
through my
that?
attic, stringing Ethernet cable so that I could have internet in my room.
But still, at the end of the day, I don't
If you're a
understand.
geek, you're
At the end
hardcore.
of the day, I don't understand how you can say, yes, I'm okay with them needing to give me permission to own the game, to play the game I own. I'm going to drop it because
Yeah.
I'm so angry. I do not want to have to ask for permission to play the game that I fucking own.
But you have to think about why they're doing it.
It doesn't matter to me why they're doing
It does matter.
It doesn't matter that they want you to have to install the stupid game on your
Don't
system.
blame them. Blame people that they're making them have to do this because of how much piracy issues there
Okay,
are.
so PS4 clearly isn't making you do this.
And PS4.
Neither is the Wii U.
You don't still own your games. It's funny because like they say that during the PS4 press conference, they're saying you don't have to do quite the same stuff that you have to do for the Xbox, but you still don't own the software. They still have the same exact software rights, and they have the same like idea as that they own the software. You're just renting it from them.
Yeah, you don't
technically.
own shit.
So you don't technically own it. But what Dave's saying about like having to check in to see if you can even play the game, I do understand people's frustration with it. I think they will relax it. They have to relax it, but other portions of their ecosystem will restrict in order to make up for that relax.
Orion Saint says, "What if I travel a lot and the hotel I go to doesn't
Are
have
you
Wi-Fi?
really gonna travel
At
with
least
your
I can play
Xbox
the
One?
single player.
Really
I don't think.
going to
Maybe.
travel with an Xbox One?
I
Do
don't
you
think you
realize
would.
how big that thing is? No.
big and
No
has
one's
a
traveling with
camera
an
attached
Xbox
to it.
One.
You-
Anyways, So that's my rant. And I will say, though, that I think regardless of what you think, if you watch the press conferences, when Sony first goes, so there's no DRM for the PS4 for sharing games, and everyone went crazy. Then they go, and there's no online authentication. Everyone went crazy. And then after that, they go, and by the way, we're $400, which is $100 cheaper than the Xbox One, and everyone went crazy. I think you have to say that Sony pretty much crushed it for as far as press conferences go. It just from a pure marketing perspective.
I don't even know why they had a conference
hardware,
after that. All they had to do was drop the mic, walk off stage, and exit
It
music.
was attached to his head.
I want to talk about games.
Games in a second.
We've
but
been on the press conferences for 30 minutes.
I have one more thing to say about the press conference, and we can move on to the games. The Sony price, the price difference of the Sony console, they're eating that. The console is more expensive to produce than the Xbox. Everybody is saying that, like, oh, the Kinect is what caused the price to be different. No, these are $600 consoles. These are $700, $800 consoles to produce. Sony's price difference, they're eating it, because if you factor in if you factor in a growth in your audience that you will get purely by lowering the cost of that, they are saying, like, hey, let's throw $100 million at this, because honestly that's what they're willing to throw at this. Throw $100 million, $200 million, throw $300 or $400 million at it. If we own this console cycle, it's going to help us in the long
'cause
run. So that's where the money went. If they said that,
Well, I think they're also just correcting their mistakes from the PS3, where it was just too expensive, so people didn't buy it.
but the price will not go
what I was
down in
gonna
a
say.
year. It'll stay that way for a lot longer. They just ate the
Grant
price
just won't
drop
stop
early.
talking, so I had to jump in.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Well, the
go ahead.
PS4 is cheaper than an iPad. Think about it. It's
That's
what,
crazy
but
when
that's
you
what
think
I'm
about
saying is, like, it's not actually cheaper to produce than the iPad. They're eating the cost of it right now in order to get better.
Well, they're
I mean, they
more
gotta
fans.
bring the shit with their first party
they got
games.
good games, I think. I'm already looking for
I mean, it's just like the
Fantasy.
Wii U. They make so much money off of their first-party titles. Nintendo's doing fine because they have so many first-party titles that everyone's going to buy. But let's get to the games for Rachel and actually talk about being at E3. Because we were all there, we got to actually hang out and play the game. So, Rachel, what were your defining moments at E3?
Oh my God, Destiny, yes. Loved everything I saw about that. They didn't have anything playable, unfortunately, but holy crap, it was amazing. I adored everything Bethesda showed. Evil Within, got to play Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh my gosh, love
Got to
that.
play Wolfenstein. Holy crap, I just was in love with Bethesda's booth. And Disney Infinity was pretty freaking awesome. But my favorite was Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4 is everything I want in a video game.
Wub, wub, wub.
I use the
That
dubstep gun.
is so cool.
Yes, I love the black hole gun. Just everything about Saints Row 4 was amazing. It's like Saints Row 3, over the top, ridiculous, fun, but then it's a little bit like Crackdown, where you have this, you can run really fast and you can do this crazy anti-gravity
Superheroes, yeah.
jump. It was just, oh my God, Saints Row 4, yes.
I actually had the most fun in the Nintendo area, and
All the photo ops they had was so fun.
yeah, and it reminded me I am actually a Nintendo girl. Totally. All these games are games that are getting me all giddy, like I'm 10 years old, and
I know,
the best.
but even like being able to get into the pipe of the Mario
the
game,
pipe,
when
and then
I
there's-
saw that, I squealed so loud. And then I got to sit in a Mario Kart, and I got
had
to
the
get
coins
in
and-
the and the Wind Waker ship, and I got to play with the Pikmin, and just holy crap, that
And then
booth
they
was
had that
awesome.
like booth with like it looked kind of like when you're at a carnival and there's like fishes that you have to catch.
yeah.
I mean, everything was just so well done there.
yeah,
The
yeah.
line for that was quite a bit longer than
My
I
E3s
expected.
are always so weird because if I'm at E3, I'm just nonstop doing interviews, and that's what I did this time. I literally had time to play 3 games my entire time at E3, and that just because I happened to be there and had downtime while I was at the booth. So I played The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, which I love because I love A Link to the Past.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, I cannot wait for the new mechanic I got to play around with a bunch where you zap onto the side of the wall. Apparently, the booth babe who was watching me play say I got the furthest anyone got in the demo, because they only give you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've never seen anyone get this far this fast.
She was
I'm
just
like,
babing you.
yeah, I do that.
Seems like
No, because I was like in the back area for press only. So when I was doing that, and she was talking to everyone, she was actually like, "Wait, I haven't seen it this far yet. Wait, I haven't seen this either.
When I was playing the game demos, the people that were there, regardless if it was on the show floor or in the press area, they'd say the same exact thing to me as they said to the last person. I'm not saying that they told me that I did really well. I'm saying that, like, well, how did you like this? How did you like that? So I think that they have, like, practice things that they say to you.
I don't think she was clearly someone who didn't know what the hell she was talking about. You can tell she just does not play games.
Dave, it sounds like you're telling a I swear to God the hooker gave the money back story right now. It's
did.
totally what's happening.
She gave me the money back. Yeah, I played that, which was fun. I played DuckTales Remastered, and I loved the original.
Yes, played
so
that.
I had a blast with that. And actually, another story about that. The PR person was watching me in the back, or the
said you have like really nice eyes or something, right?
No, she was just there watching. And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm hogging it. You can play. And she's like, no, I've just never seen anyone get this many gems.
Wow, you're on a roll there.
Also, Caps fan, well, John, he just reminded me, South Park Stick of Truth. Yeah, that game is so amazing.
Did they
I
have
love
it
it.
playable? Was it playable
No,
there?
it wasn't
Okay.
playable, but
Wait,
it is going to get me to play it, even though it is turn-based. I'm going to
was
love
about
the
to say.
hell out of this game. I know. Oh my God, just the vulgarity and the just adultness of it, love it.
The adultness of it. See, I think it goes so far in the wrong direction that it gets pretty childish. Again.
But
Yeah,
it's South Park. It's South Park.
It started off with Randy teaching a kid a possibly racist fart move.
No, but the special move is you can
there's very little that wasn't.
It makes you go, ooh.
you can
about
call out Mr. Slave, and then it looks like he starts butt raping the person to death, and that's your special move. That's
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
amazing. That's like the best thing I ever want in a game is Mr. Slave butt raping somebody.
We at Game Control Live do not endorse unwanted sodomy, just to let everyone know.
But South Park does, and I love it.
So Mrs. Violence says that she really wants Garden Warfare. Orient Saint says Metal Gear Solid 5 impressed me. Church 4252 agrees Garden Warfare.
Metal Gear. I
And
don't
Corpsey says The Division and Watch Dogs look next gen.
know. The Division was the game of the show for me. Even
didn't
though,
get to see
even
that
though,
one.
even though no
Everyone
one
was
got to
talking
see it
about that.
played, like actually played because all of those gameplays were like pre-records.
Yeah. Obviously.
It looks so fucking amazing.
I don't
does.
know, man.
No, I agree.
I don't
It
use
really
that word
didn't, like-
so often, but
It didn't blow me away when I watched the reveal of it, and the only thing I was thinking is like, what is beyond the wall? I'm so intrigued to see what's beyond the wall. And then when they got through the wall, I was like, oh, that looks stupid. I don't care what's beyond the
The
wall
game
anymore.
that everybody was talking
Division,
about.
not Destiny.
I'm with
Oh, I
you,
was thinking
Grant.
Destiny. Sorry,
Oh,
I
the
was
game
thinking
that
Destiny.
everybody was talking about that didn't impress me was Titanfall.
Yeah,
It
I
was
gotta
Call
go
of
with you there.
Duty with robots, and I don't know. It's just that one just didn't do anything for
But
me.
on the show
Yeah.
floor, I got to also play Beyond Two Souls. And
So did I.
I didn't get a chance to play it, but I
underwhelmed
interviewed
me
them about
so
it.
incredibly.
Yes.
Well, it's
as
Quantic
I was-
Dream. It's just another Heavy Rain.
They didn't choose the right thing to show.
No, they dropped us into this in the middle of a war, and we're in the shanty town. Everybody's got guns. There's explosions. There's
And you
rocket
don't
launches.
get to use
But
it.
And
as
we
Ellen
sit
Page, you have that
there-
moment where you
Pick
get
up
to
a
choose to
gun.
kill yourself or
All we
not.
do is sit there and we hit R1 when it tells us to. While there's like it's a fast-paced
For
action
everything,
level.
Every single thing
Oh
that
my
you do.
God.
It's quick
is
time events
presented-
the game. That's
It
what I
really
got.
is. It is like an on-rails movie
Yes.
presentation game.
Oh my God! And even there were
And
parts where you could
Ellen
actually
Page is
run.
not good in
The
it.
camera controls sucked. I fought with the controls. It was not good.
I interviewed one of the developers on the game because one of the moments is where you have the shaky hand. You get to choose if you're going to shoot yourself in the head or not, as Ellen Page. And I was asking about, with Heavy Rain, there were so many different endings and characters could
Yeah,
die.
I'm sure there's going
so
to be.
So I asked him, I was like, so in that moment, can you actually kill yourself? Because that'd be awesome.
Can I end the game? Be like, I'm done with this.
And he was like, no. Then someone comes and intervenes. I was like, that sucks. I wanted you to actually have that moment where you can choose that for that to happen.
Yeah.
I will say
so
that
Caps-
the game could be great once it's all together and you get to play it in one continuous. Because Heavy Rain I enjoyed.
I didn't.
But if most of the game is that, like you pressing the button right when it tells you to do, or like you moving it, like I felt it. Not only did I feel unintuitive playing it, but it felt very, very way too guided. Like
Yeah.
I played the exact same experience that every single person.
Well, that's
around
how
me
Heavy
was
Rain
playing.
is.
Yeah.
So Hayden agrees with you, Rachel, that Titanfall just went right past him. Looks like Call of Duty. Lions fan says that his favorite game was UFC 2014, and they did a good job promoting that, and especially with the wrestler coming out. Or the actual
More
UFC
than
fighter
one
coming
wrestler.
out. Caps fan John asked us if we are for or against all the tablet phone integration in games like Watchdog. I think they're
Even The
cool, but I
Division,
can't
like,
see
had really
myself ever
cool-
using them.
I completely
didn't-
agree. It's cool, but I don't think I ever will
and
use
I agree with
it.
that too.
Necessary?
I think it's cool. I'm glad they have it, but I'm not going to use
This
it.
is the way I
probably.
took the Division's cross-platform integration with the tablet. They had those 3 people storming the police station, and then a dude on a tablet comes in and provides support with an unmanned vehicle in the air. I thought it was really cool, but I don't think that it's going to be 3 people playing the game on a PlayStation and that one guy who's playing it on a tablet. It's going to be one of those people that's playing on the PlayStation also has a tablet with them, and they can.
Oh, yeah,
they can do it.
definitely.
And that's actually like what people in the military do right now.
I'm actually
one of the troops has a backpack with him, which he can control the unmanned robot.
I'm making a prediction right now that if not this game, but the style that the Division is going to usurp the Call of Duty style of multiplayer.
I definitely agree.
I am calling that right now.
There are many development companies who are shying away from the MMO type multiplayer, and they're moving towards that persistent world or the instanced world. Even Guild Wars does it. It's like a persistent world that instances itself when needed to provide a much more immersive single player experience in the multiplayer world.
So on the military
That'd be
aspect,
good.
I have to admit, I think it was Battlefield 4 that had the building tumbling at the end. I was honestly, I was
down.
impressed by
Coming
that.
down.
The fact that that was a place that you were fighting in was that
The
giant
fact that they
building,
even
and it
went
was
up
actually
there.
able to topple down.
The fact that they went
I
up
was
there,
impressed.
I was like, don't go in the building. It's going to fall down. Like, I,
But I mean, still, that's like, think about that. Like, if you have 20 people in there and you somehow manage to like figure out how to rig it and blow it up, that's 20 kills all of a sudden.
yeah.
That was honestly, I was impressed by
Well-
that, and I'm not usually impressed by stuff in those types of games.
Who else went holy shit when we saw 15 seconds of the Battlefront teaser?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
But I thought it was interesting that EA had basically gathered all the rights to the Star Wars shit, and there was nothing like there were some projects that were deep into development, and the EA deal actually made it so that they acquired those teams or entire studios for that matter. So it was interesting not to see almost anything other than the Battlefront stuff from EA.
yeah.
but we already knew it was coming.
But
so.
they had been saying they weren't going to show anything for a long time for Star Wars, so it was fun to actually get to see something.
Yeah.
But ADV's a fan says, "Oh, Sunset Overdrive looked pretty cool," and I agree with you. As I said earlier, I don't know if we were live streaming or not when I said it, but Sunset Overdrive to me looks like Jet Set Radio meets Mirror's Edge, and those are both cool games to me, so I like that mix of them. But the other game I did actually get a chance to play was. Made sure I had to play it, Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, of course.
I had to.
Hell yeah.
And
I moved way back up the chat, and Church said, "Did anybody get to play the Church 4252 said, did anybody get to play the Eve VR game on the Oculus?" And I did get to play that. It is amazing, but CCP Games says that they're not going to release it as
Grant,
a game.
you just killed me. I was about to have my Dark Souls 2 moment,
No, but
and
you're
my
gonna
face
go
just
on.
shut down.
You're gonna go on, and you're going to go all fanboyish on us for like 10 minutes. Go for it.
I was literally just gonna say like 20 seconds that I was excited because I actually got to interview the game director Yui Tanimura and one of the producers from Bandai Namco, Takemiya Zo. But I'll probably make a video about some of the differences. But I was just excited. Like this was the one game I wanted to play was Dark Souls 2. They actually have a lot of differences that it feels really different. So John and I both had a chance to play it.
Hell yeah.
It feels different. But it's still that Dark Souls 2 is going to rip your soul out hard. They actually were giving away a t-shirt for anyone who could actually make it to the boss and beat it on their first try. And I think only one person the entire time of everyone who played it got that t-shirt. And that person apparently stood there for an hour playing the game.
Yeah.
And then that's how they got the t-shirt. It wasn't someone who played it.
worth it.
But anyways, that was the third game I got to play with
And you
Dark
were
Souls
worried
2.
about it on Monday. You were talking to me.
No, it's still different to a point of I don't know if I actually really like the changes that they made because it does feel different. But that could just be because I'm so used to Dark Souls. But it's a different game. It's going to feel different, but it's still going to be crushingly difficult.
And it looks just amazing.
I don't know if I like the change of the look, honestly, but some people love the way because it is much more streamlined.
Yeah.
You know what I liked about the PS4 show floor was that the PlayStation showcase, it looked like an arcade.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it. It was a different feel. It was very unique. Going to the arcade.
There were many
dropping
points.
quarters.
I didn't like the fact that it was so there's a lot of focus on all of their consoles.
But I like
Vita,
that.
PS3.
It was kind of hard to figure
and
out where things
PS4.
were.
I thought it was easy.
It was hard to figure out where things were, and it was really and it was really weird to see some of these games that I thought were going to be next generation titles played on the PS3.
Yeah.
So,
But see, I was
does
happy that they
prove-
were on the PS3.
It proves that they're going to stick with the PS3 for a little while longer, just like they did with the PS2. But I don't think that the PS3 is as robust as the PS2. I don't think my PS3 is going to last as long as my PS2 did.
Well, you know,
So Hayden Garinge asked on the chat, do you know if Dark Souls 2 is coming to PC? It's coming PS3, 360, and yes, PC this time. And I'm going to make a video. I'm going to probably do like a 15 to 30 minute video, or maybe, I don't know, 30 minute just analyzing my playthrough with Dark Souls 2 and my interview. And actually, we're going to have the interview up. We're going to have our own YouTube channel starting up, separate from AfterBuzz, and I will have every interview that I cover, 30-plus interviews, including my 15-minute sit-down with Dark Souls 2. And we're going to be putting all the Game Control lives there, so that will be starting up hopefully within the coming weeks. We'll have our own YouTube channel for all of the Game Control content.
Yay!
So check that out.
Yeah,
And I just had to answer that question. But yes, PC, Dark Souls 2. John, what were you going to say?
I totally lost my thought, but I think about the only thing that I was gonna say was involved with Dark Souls 2 is that the roll, the main thing that I noticed was the roll mechanic was off. That was about, I think it was all I was gonna say. But getting to the Mirror Knight was, I saw so many people, like, they were going through and they were trying to kill everything. Every single enemy had to just die before they could get there.
That's how it is.
Yeah, and all I did was, like, running, just, like, ran straight through everything, and I got to the last boss and no problem. And of course, he killed me fast, but...
Oh, by the way, that last boss, John, instead of just being blue guys who come out, it can actually be PvP players who come out of his shield. Just so you know. That was for John. Sorry.
Holy shit.
The game is incredibly difficult. I'm sorry we're on this Dark Souls 2 thing. Let's move on to other stuff.
No, that's fine. Honestly, like it impressed enough people that you've given it probably at least the amount of time that it should be given. It was impressive.
It needs more. Yeah, so for those of you who play Dark Souls 2, there is a boss who literally his shield will produce NPCs to go fight you, and if you're playing as online, it can be PvP players who come out of his shield while you're in the middle of a boss battle.
So there's people preventing you
Yes,
from
they
doing it.
hate you that much in Dark Souls
God.
2. They are making it difficult.
Hell
That is proof.
no.
Anyways,
She's like, I'm not going to play.
back to the general E3. Let's go ahead and talk about some of our moments of actually, before we talk about our E3 moments of the week, I do want to do some E3 quick hits for you guys real quick, because this was a crazy story that came out of E3, which was Ouya versus the ESA. So basically, it was this weird dispute between the Ouya and the ESA where the Ouya set up a booth. They weren't actually at E3 inside of it.
They were in a sketchy-ass parking lot with
Yeah.
a food
The
truck that
street.
you had to pay for.
It wasn't so
What is a free
sketchy.
food trucks? Come on.
Don't have a food truck in your booth if it's not free.
Yeah, they had a food truck, and it was in the parking lot, and all of a sudden the ESA somehow had something against them, so they put this giant truck blocking
in
off
front of the sign.
Yeah, in front of the sign, blocking off completely the parking lot for Ouya, so nobody could see that it was there. So then the Ouya came back and said, okay, so they bought a banner space in front of the truck and bought that out to put up all their banners. And then the ESA called the cops on Ouya and everybody to try and get them off the lot. And the Ouya had to prove that they had a permit to be there.
It was one hell of a high school pissing contest, is really what it was.
God.
It was really interesting. I didn't really like the Ouya booth that much. It felt way too dingy and way too open to the public, but I know that that's what they were trying to do. They want to impress and they want to bring their console to the public. So I was of two minds on it. Like I want the events that I go to see there to be clean, and I want to get one-on-one time with the people who are going to make a difference with the console itself. I want to present to them like my concerns as a gamer, as a person involved in the press. Like I also want to talk to them about what they're going to do in the future. And because I'm not saying that I would hold them accountable, but like I will be waiting and I will be seeing if, like they live up to their promises and they do the things that they do. I wanted to talk to them about the controller. So the fact that they were there showing it to more or less showing it to the public instead of the press
Hayden asked...
was a
Well,
little
yeah.
bit weird.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
Hayden asked, because I guess I didn't answer this, if the Ouya guys had a permit, and they did, so they still did
Yeah, they
remain
did
there
have
the
a
entire time. And actually, Ermin, who was handling the Ouya, Julie Ehrman, the founder of the Ouya console, told in an interview with IGN that she feels they were being unfairly targeted due to their decision.
Think they were as well.
Yeah.
Due to their decision to go around the ESA and attend E3 on their own terms.
But there were much smaller companies that did it very similarly to Ouya, with
Yeah.
a lot less of like EA's hand-holding, the ESA's hand-holding, and they operated within the rule set provided by the ESA and the convention center,
Yeah.
and didn't try to hijack it or do something that was so in the face as what Ouya was
Yeah,
doing.
and Orient Saint says supposedly they blocked Ouya because Ouya didn't pay to be on the E3 show floor.
No,
Or at
of
least didn't-
course.
Yeah.
But like there's a number of events that were like Ouya that didn't pay to be on the show floor and said, "Hey, come visit us at the theater down the street."
Well,
Even
Crave
some of the
did
larger
that.
companies.
Crave
yeah.
Online was across the
So,
street with girls in bikinis.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's that
How do I miss all these
were
bikinis?
so in the face of the ESA, and they were
Yeah.
saying like, you know, they were being pretty They were fronting. They were being
Yeah.
ballsy.
So next news story that I want to jump on is next gen pricing, which is that we have confirmed now PS4 is 400, Microsoft's going to be 500, and actually we found out just now, I believe today or yesterday, a company spokesperson from Microsoft told Kotaku that the Xbox One first party game specifically, we don't know about other games, but the first party Microsoft games will cost $60 or $59.99. So there will at least stay the same price. It might be the same thing that we saw with Nintendo, where Nintendo games were $10 cheaper than all the other games. I don't know, but at least the Xbox One first party titles will be $60.
Aren't PS4 games going to be $70?
I don't know, but I'm hearing music.
Yeah.
The speculation was that PS4 games would be $70, but
Yeah.
I think that was just speculation, and we don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I
they're
wouldn't
all
be
gonna be
bothered by it, to
60.
be honest.
Yeah.
Even if it was.
They're gonna make a lot more
I
money
think I
this
would.
console cycle. I
60
think
bucks is
they've-
already a bit much.
Yeah.
It is, but then the problem is just that issue of that consoles are constantly costing more money.
There's going to be more indie titles this time around as well. It's still, I mean, the PS4 is very easy to develop for. I interviewed a number of indie games, including the Transistor game that I mentioned at the beginning of the
Yeah.
show. Like, they are in an indie-friendly platform, the Sony console. So you should be able to buy a lot of games for less than $60 because it's not like Transistor is going to cost $60.
Yeah. All right, well, with that said, then, let's go ahead and jump on our E3 moments of the week, or general moments of the week, because I know, Rachel, I believe yours is different.
Well, mine was at
Maybe.
E3.
Okay.
Needlessly.
All right, so moments of the week. Actually, because I mentioned you, Rachel, what is your moment of the week?
The Last of Us. I beat
Wasn't
it.
that your moment last week?
Well, because I played the
moments every
demo. I
week.
played the
It's a repeat. It's
demo.
okay.
It's like me with Dark Souls.
I didn't rush through it or anything. I did have a early copy. People on my YouTube were mad because they thought
they're
I
all
beat it in 24
confused
hours.
That you beat it in like
I
what,
didn't
4
beat it in
hours or
24
20
hours. It's a very long game. Also on YouTube, people are pissed because I said it was about 14 hours of play, and then I said it was long. That is long for an action adventure game. It's not long
Did
for an
you
RPG,
go
but 14
slowly, or
hours is
did
long
you
for
rush
this.
through it?
Make it another shot
I
at
did
this.
explore. I did not rush through it. I took
So
my
someone
time.
could beat it in like 8 hours.
If you wanted to run through it, yes. If you do a lot of stealth, it'll take you longer. I, of course, killed a lot of people.
I'm very stealthy. so
The
it
game
would've
is
taken me, like, 20.
absolutely phenomenal. It is amazing. It's probably my game of the year. There are some issues a little bit with the combat going on. I had some problems with the combat and some problems with popping in and out of stealth. Other than that, the game is absolutely 100% phenomenal.
It looks fantastic.
Excellent, excellent, excellent game.
On sale now.
Yes.
And
Get it for your PS3.
Yeah, only PS3. Sorry for those of you who only have 360s, but yeah, it does look really good. It looks. So I'm assuming it's kind of an action survival horror title, right?
Do you know how like
Yes.
Uncharted sold a lot of PS3s because it was like the game to get, and they had that advertising campaign?
Yeah.
This is one of those games that sells a lot of PS3s.
Yes, this is a console
It
seller.
should be bundled.
I mean, it's by the
and-
guys. It's by Naughty Dog,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So Naughty Dog's just awesome. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Crash Bandicoot, then Uncharted, now this.
They have a lot
There.
of great employees too.
Naughty Dog is fantastic.
I am a huge Naughty Dog fangirl. They are my favorite developer, hands down. That game is just absolutely amazing.
So
Such a good story.
yeah, it looks great.
It's a
Grant,
moment.
what is your moment?
My moment of the week
Moment.
is the Destiny reveal for the gameplay trailer at E3. It was amazing. It was interesting that it was done during the Sony conference as well. It was just like it was very epic. it shows you quite a bit about what the game is going to be about. It's a little sad because like when you view the trailer and then you end up going to the show floor and you see the gameplay and then they showed gameplay.
Yeah, this is the wall
afterwards.
game I was talking about.
This is the game.
The wall
not
game.
The Division. The
Yeah,
Division
it's
is,
Destiny.
The Division is Ubisoft.
It's like Mass Effect, Halo, Borderlands.
Yeah, Mass Effect, Halo, Borderlands. Either way, most of the stuff that they show in this trailer and then the gameplay that follows it, it's recycled. It's shown a lot during the conference. I saw this gameplay sequence, including that part where he just jumps out and then like he goes and meets his buddy and then they go inside and then they fight this like Archon character. They show all that stuff a lot, so it looks like Destiny's going to be an MMO with instanced encounters like that.
Yeah.
Like Guild Wars.
Yeah,
You played those Guild Wars 2 events where like all of a sudden something massive happens. I think that the Bungie basically took that and like extrapolated on it and built something even more amazing on top of it.
Man, these characters, they look a little bit too Mass Effect. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but it's like, wow, you
How
guys
could you
didn't
be
even
too Mass Effect?
you guys didn't even try to make it look different. But that's like one of those characters just look like
I had
straight
to keep
up
reminding
Tally.
myself that this is just one encounter in one area of the game. So this is definitely an early like presentation.
Yeah.
So I'll have to wait and see how the further presentations are.
And also, for those of you curious, this is actually Bungie's new game finally after Halo, where this is their because Halo's not Bungie anymore. So the new Halo reveal you saw is
Halo's
not
not
Bungie.
Microsoft anymore. Or
This is not
Bungie's
Bungie.
Bungie's not Microsoft
Right,
anymore.
they're just
either.
third party now. Our Burton asked question is how long will Microsoft support the 360 after the Xbox One hits the shelves? Because they dropped the original Xbox not too long after the 360 was released. They actually came out and specifically said they were going to be supporting the 360 with a lot of support for like 5 years, I think.
It might even
Afterwards,
be more.
Plus, they're
Yeah.
releasing that new Xbox.
yeah, for the 360.
New
Yeah,
360.
which they announced it was released the day of Monday for the E3 announcements. They're like, and we have a new 360. But Kaori, what is your moment of the week?
Well, my E3 moment of the week was obviously going into Nintendo and playing
Yeah.
around there the whole time.
Yeah.
But I saw this morning, and I like mods. I can appreciate mods. It's a Skyrim mod with Man of Steel, and I thought it was cool.
It's really white.
It's an 11-minute long, like.
Yeah, what's wrong with the color?
Well, that's the.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
I've never been
There's a lot of crazy Skyrim mods.
Yeah.
I think there's an Iron Man one that's really big now too, right?
Is there a good section to skip to,
Just
Kaori?
go in the
Maybe
middle
they were
somewhere. Just go in
black.
the middle somewhere.
I'm confused.
So basically, they have this whole storyline, and then you got.
So
Anyway.
okay, so they're making a storyline be basically Man of Steel.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. So those of you just listening, we're seeing all these superpowers that the Skyrim character has. Like he's using his eyesight to shoot lasers out. He's using his hands to shoot fire.
There's like a phone booth somewhere, just randomness.
It's got like the dragon shells.
Yeah, I know.
So
Well, I'm a huge Skyrim fan.
do you have
so-
Skyrim on your
Kneel
PC,
before
Kaori, or do you have it on different
don't.
things?
I have it on my PS3. I
Yeah.
should have it on my
Because yeah,
PC.
you can only really get this stuff if you have it on PC.
I know.
I could help you
What
with
I would have been
roll.
building.
Hrothgar Luthor,
Anyway,
your cover.
craziness.
What music was that? I recognize that music.
They replaced everything. They put
So
music
good.
in from the old Superman movies. They put
There
music
he
in. Yeah.
Who is this? Can you explain for people? Just
No, go.
It's
There's
Superman.
right there in the middle.
It's right there.
so Superman is now on top of a bridge presenting.
Oh yeah, Superman's on.
All
And
right.
then there's all these people.
We'll skip ahead to some combat.
Well,
Okay.
let's go ahead and move on because we've been talking on it for so long. Yeah, this is like an 11-minute video.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
So
yeah,
they did
it's at least
Superman
11 minutes.
everything. So with that said, I guess I'll go ahead and jump on my moment of the week, which is Dark Souls. Actually, it's not Dark Souls. Surprise!
You almost
Psych.
had me there.
You thought it was gonna be Dark Souls 2,
I was
but
about to
it's
tune out
not.
for a second.
Oh, okay, Grant. Whatever. I tuned out during Destiny, okay? So my moment of the week is actually Sony's video that they put up online in response to Microsoft.
Oh, god damn it.
What was this again?
This is how you share games on the PS4.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
here
I
we go.
love
Stop.
this.
share your games on PS4.
I like someone's comment. You actually
Wait.
have to have friends in order to do this.
Okay, so to explain the video, it's Shuei Yoshida saying, who's the president of Sony Worldwide, saying this is how you share games on PS4.
2 million
And
views.
then he's hands off. He literally just passes the game to Adam Boyes, who's the vice president of publisher relations at Sony. But he literally just hands the game over to him. And I mean, regardless of how you think, I just think this is the perfect response. I mean, honestly, the online authentication is what pisses me off about Xbox One. I don't really care that much about the DRM because I always buy new games myself. But I just think that this was the perfect way to respond. It was just a in-your-face, funny YouTube. And if you look at the pacing of a comedy video, that's how you do the pacing. It's just with that long, drawn-out pause of, with the music playing, like step one, sharing your game, and then it's just that sudden comedic release. If you look at comedy too, I just think it was the perfect trolling Microsoft response. Perfect timing, everything. So it cracked me up.
I love it. I love it.
Apparently Grant hates it though.
Hey, you know, if Microsoft comes out with
Grant,
like
we're your
10
friends
launch
now,
titles,
so if you want to share games with us, you don't have to worry. You can share with us
on Xbox.
Or any console.
Y'all be in my Xbox family.
Actually,
I'll
you
buy
can't.
one copy of a game, and you guys can all play it when
And
I'm
then
not.
for some people, I'll have to pay for it.
Yay!
And I won't want to pay the $60.
And then on top
Free
of it,
games.
you don't have to pay to be on Xbox Live.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, yes, you do.
No, I mean like the regular one.
Yeah,
You don't have to.
yeah,
You have to.
Don't
be the
you have to pay to be on PlayStation,
gold.
PSN now too?
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to pay for both of them now.
If
no,
that comes with
just
more
for
security,
PlayStation
I'll
Plus.
be happy.
Yeah, PlayStation Plus.
For PlayStation Plus, but like you can get PSN, just like a good old rego.
I didn't think you had to pay to be my friend.
Not to be your friend, but I'm sure to do
Bad
all this
friend.
stuff, I'm sure they'll make
I
it
don't
so
know.
you
I think someone should pay me to be your friend, but you know.
A lot of hard work goes into that. All right, well, that does it for our moments of the week. And with that, let's go ahead and move on to some comments from YouTube. And so Zero Frost says, from our question last week, he's about what we were talking about piracy. He says that they tried the whole piracy thing on PC, but the piracy thing on PC with people trying to fight piracy, and the PC tried to fight it, and then the pirates bypassed it, all the issues. So yeah, basically piracy issues. It's always going to be a concern.
We asked
These
the
pirates
question
can do
on the
anything.
morality of it and how
Right.
it pertained to that one particular game that was pirated and then
Yeah,
distributed.
he kind of just
by...
stepped around that question, I guess, just by saying pirates will do whatever, will figure out ways around anything. I mean, they will.
I mean, that's also like saying, you know,
your question is a
they're
statement.
saying murderers.
Thank
They're
you.
still
Thank
gonna
you.
find some way to kill people. You know, why should we even worry about it?
I also asked
Yeah.
what you were at the moment last week were excited for PS4, Xbox, or what you wanted. Jason Cohen's on YouTube says, I'm totally going to get PS4, no questions asked, and can't wait for a bunch of games to come out like Elder Scrolls Online, Deadpool, Batman Arkham Origins, Dark Souls 2, which is actually not a PS4
Yeah,
title.
Batman looked really good, by the way.
Diablo 3,
usual.
Dragon Age Inquisition, Final Fantasy 15. I heard that Final Fantasy 15 is actually multi-platform. Is that correct?
I don't
I
think
think
so.
I thought it was because they're no longer like Sony
which
exclusive.
is funny that they announced this as Sony, made it seem like a PS4 only title. There was a
Oh,
lot.
see, I
of
thought
that.
it was.
There was a lot of that at the Sony and Microsoft press conference where they would
confusion.
word something and like, and it's coming first to Xbox One, or and it's coming first to PS4. So they would try to word it so you would think it was only coming out, but it was really a multi-platform game.
I thought I should
There's a
mention this.
lot of
Tricked. I
that.
was
The
tricked.
Fantasia game. That's another game that I played at the E3.
Yeah.
That,
Oh my
that
god, that was so terrible.
I liked it quite a bit, but one of the things that I noticed is that most press outlets are reporting that it's coming to the Xbox One only.
You're talking about
Coming to the
Disney's
Xbox 360
Fantasia,
yeah.
right?
It's coming to the Xbox
wait a
360's
second.
Connect as well. So I don't understand what I mean. Like, there's a lot of confusion among press outlets, and
I just
even
like the
after
music
the press
choice.
conferences.
Everything's fine with
I have
music.
something to say about
like
that.
Bruno Mars.
Okay, go on.
So I went to the Disney booth to see Fantasia, and I knew it was going to be Dance Central. You know, you're sitting there directing music, whatever. I don't care about that shit. What I cared about was they went on this long spiel about Walt Disney and what Walt wanted and how
didn't do
Disney
that for
does
me.
things. So they did for me. They went on this long history, and I knew all of it already, so suck it. And so they get the girl
No,
on
you're Disney.
stage, and she plays Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. They're showing a Disney game at a Disney booth, talked all about Walt and Disney and his future and his
there's
vision
no
for the
Disney
future.
music.
Yeah.
No Disney music, no Disney characters, all just crap pop music.
See, here I thought you were going to say
Wait,
she wasn't a booth babe,
what?
she
Did
wasn't
you
good
just
enough
call the
looking.
Bohemian Rhapsody crap pop music?
For a Disney
no.
game?
Hold on.
Like-
No, for a Disney game?
Yeah, he just muted your mic. John just muted your mic.
hilarious.
No. Bring me back. Let me explain myself.
Oh,
Let her explain.
okay. Explain.
No, you didn't hear the rest of the music, which is crap. But Queen Bohemian Rhapsody is not crap, but it does not belong in a Disney game during a Disney demo.
I thought it melded well with the universe.
If I'm directing music, what they should have done and had her get up there and play the song from Sorcerer's Apprentice.
I think what it meant to do was like the Sorcerer's Apprentice. The idea of it was directing a symphony, and they were saying like, okay, we don't know what the symphony is going to play, but let's direct it anyway.
It should be
It could
Disney
be
music,
but it could
like
also the
Sorcerer's
popular
Apprentice.
music.
Grant, that is what they were saying is like, okay, well, the whole point of Fantasia was that you're supposed to direct music, but I agree with you, Rachel. It just doesn't feel right to me being Fantasia without classical music. I think it needs to have classical music to feel like Fantasia, to me.
But there's classical remixes of every single one of those songs.
But I just don't feel like, for me,
It's
pop music
Disney.
doesn't fit in properly for this, to me.
But why put music in this game, in this Disney game, that's already in all the other music games?
Because they want it to sell.
Lions fan agrees. Yeah, that is why.
But
That's why they did that.
Disney has one of the most recognized library of music that they could have used.
Rich says Rachel needs a hug, and while I might agree with you, I like seeing this freak out. So
Caps fan John says.
Don't mess with my Disney. I will tear you apart.
Caps fan John says, calm down, Rachel. Lions fan agrees with you on the chat. And Corpsey says Mickey Mouse headbanging. What's not to like?
Yeah, there was some really
Mickey
cool
does
metal
play.
tracks.
He does play drums. I saw it at Disneyland.
So
He does everything.
So
He's great.
And so also Diana says on YouTube. Well, I know for sure I'll be getting the PS4 now. The games I will be getting for it are definitely Batman Arkham Origins, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
I like this
Kaori,
person.
and Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. And I'm really interested to know what the Sherlock Holmes one will be like. So
You know what I'm
Yeah.
surprised no one has talked about? And the one game that made me really interested was Rain. Did anybody else
I
see
actually-
Rain?
I
and just
checked
like,
that out.
holy
I
shit.
checked that out.
I interviewed one of the Japanese designers on Rain.
My fear with that kind of game is the same as Flower and the same as Unfinished Swan. Is at first the idea and the concept behind it is what grabs you in. And you're like, wow, this is really creative. But then it never actually goes past that.
Yeah.
And then once you get used to the creativeness of what's going on in the game, the actual gameplay is boring, long, and drawn out.
I played it. Actually, I did play that a little bit while I was waiting to do my interview, and I mean, I can't say how it's going to do from the long run, but I
Right.
was intrigued by
Yeah.
the fact that it was different, and you're playing as this child who's like 10 years old, who's completely defenseless. So you, in my portion, I had to run and find a ghost dog, and there was this collapsing bridge, and the ghost dog would immediately go kill me. So I had to keep on trying until I
Ghost
realized I had to
dog.
get the ghost dog. Instead of running and killing me, I had to get him to run into these poles to make it so they would fall down.
Yeah,
So
well, I like the narrative
top
of
of
it,
him.
how that's done, and
But
monsters
it
you
also
see
has
in the
this
rain.
hint system in
That's
it
all
that's
you need to
very
say was
reminiscent
Ghost
of
Dog. I'll
adventure
get the
games.
game. It's okay.
It had a hint system in it because it is a puzzle game. So it had a hint system in it very reminiscent of the old school Monkey Island game, the remake for Xbox Live. It was very reminiscent
Point
of
and
that.
click adventure.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
In the way they did the clue system. But actually, John played Mad Max. John, you wanna?
I did not play Mad Max.
saw it.
They didn't. Yeah, I saw the gameplay demo, and it is. I was like, out of all the games that I was like severely disappointed by, this was like the biggest one. I was like, that's it. It was like games we've all played this exact same game before. There's absolutely nothing new about the gameplay. It just has a Mad Max skin. It is like 1,001 titles that we all know, and you know, it's Joe. I mean, I guess if you like the Mad Max movies, it's a good rental. But then I'm also rather pissed off about the fact that Mad Max doesn't look even a little bit like Mel Gibson.
Did you
well,
guys
it's because they
kinda
didn't
notice
want to
that
have an
this is-
anti-Semite, I guess,
this
at the
is-
start of the game.
Did you guys kind of notice that this is the E3 where MMO just faded into the background, and this was basically an E3 dominated by persistent worlds?
Well, it was also
Yeah.
True, huh?
or shooters that were based in a pseudo MMO world that would be, you know, like created.
how very
with the
dark
players.
souls of them. I wonder where they got inspiration.
No, it's rightfully, you know, to acknowledge that as like one of the few sources that created that first. I'll acknowledge it, but it's interesting that they're stepping away from the MMO But also like these instance worlds, they still require an online connection and a server in most cases. So it's interesting that they're actually choosing that route. It's not as intensive as it's not as there's not a lot of infrastructure needed in order to do it as an MMO. But it's interesting that that's the way that they're choosing to get people to interact socially because the MMOs die off so quickly.
Well, the other thing is, and I forget who I was talking to, but I think it's just a generation by generational E3 thing where this E3 was the year of the new consoles.
Yeah.
Last year's E3
true.
was very handheld oriented with the PS Vita and the
Which
3DS.
means next year's gonna be all about the first party games for the new consoles.
Right.
I saw-
so every
I'm so
every-
excited
it
for
kinda
next
goes on
year
those cycles.
already.
I saw a crazy article that said that this might be the last generation of consoles. There'll be no more real
No,
consoles
that's-
anymore.
No, that's not
I
true.
doubt that.
I doubt that too.
sincerely doubt that.
I've heard
That's
that
a lie and a half.
I've heard that too.
As I was
and
watching,
I get it,
as I was
but-
watching the gameplay demos, reminding myself that a lot of these are happening on dev kits as opposed to the actual the consoles that will ship in November. I had a kind of like an epiphany moment where it was like, yeah, they're playing all these on PCs. And when I played most of these cross-platform games on a PC, I enjoyed them in a much more like detailed and expansive universe where I could see further and things were clearer and there was more effects and all that stuff. So I think that like, yes, PCs and mobile devices that are upgraded more often than consoles have their day and have their moment. And I will still play quite a few games on the PCs. I think that this E3 made playing games on a PC stronger, but I don't think consoles are going away.
Maybe they're
Not at
just
all.
talking
Yeah.
about like the shift of how consoles now, like the Xbox One is doing that whole entertainment system
Yeah.
thing. So it's just changing from like a specific just for games console.
I don't know a
Well, I
single
mean,
person
Xbox
who
One
looked
is
at the
the only
Xbox
one
One and said,
that did
hey, I
that.
can't wait to get my hands on that media
I mean, I don't
system."
agree with it. I'm just trying to play devil's
No,
advocate.
no, I know. I'm just saying, like, I mean, you got the Wii U, which is only games. You got the PS4, which I'm sure will be multimedia, but they're focusing on games. I think Xbox One was the only of the three majors stepping out like that and trying to market themselves as Apple TV.
The Wii U was saying that like, oh, somebody could play a game on the second screen while they watch TV
Right.
on the console itself.
Well, right, but I'm just saying that the Wii U is still more marketed as a gaming system.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
think
mean.
that they're gonna know that they're gonna realize that they can market to both audiences. They can market to the family. They can market to the father and mother who want to entertain themselves while the kids are also playing a video game or playing it at another time.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
but they don't want to
Wii U
pay
marketing.
$500 or $400 for that
Why not?
that is the Wii U marketing.
because they already have a DVR.
Yeah, but the DVR is costing them how many dollars a month?
Free. If it's free, it comes with all cable boxes now.
Not all
No,
of
it doesn't.
them.
I have to pay extra.
Well, you
And
do have
they're
terrible
expanding
cable.
a lot
I
of
know.
the features too.
I do.
If you want to get that one that allows you to share video in between rooms, try and see if they give that to you for free for that matter.
All right. Well, with all that said, let's move on to the question for next week for you guys. So the dust is settled, and we know where the cars lie or where the games lie. So with all this, which system
what you
are
did
you
there.
favoring at the moment? No Rachel cop-outs. Which system are you favoring at the moment? And also, which E3 game, if you could choose one, blew you out of the water and you have to have? If you could choose one
That's
E3
hard.
game. So I would love to hear that, and we would all love to hear. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. And we did have issues at the beginning, but we got the live stream running, and we are on a brand new website at AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can always call in at 424-256-1729. Make sure to follow our Twitter account at GameControlLive for all the updates on the show. Chime in with us, chat with us. And with that said, I'm Dave Klein. You can find me on Twitter at TheDaveKlein. That is Klein.
And I'm Kaori Takee. You can find me at Kaorious.
I'm Grant, and you can find me on Twitter at GAK. I posted about 3 or 4 articles this week about E3, so go check that out as
On
well.
at Nerdluster.
Yeah, nerdluster.com.
And I'm Rachel at the Rachel on Twitter.
And I am John Quick. I do not have a Twitter because I'm a career ninja, and it's really hard to do that if everyone knows where the fuck you are all the time. Seriously, I can't explain that enough. When you're a ninja, you cannot have a social media presence.
Or you
Good
can have
enough.
social media and just not tell everybody where you are.
You're on Rainbow Road. We all know it.
It'll check
Rainbow
it. It'll
Road,
check in
yes.
Somebody
anyway.
blew me away saying Mario Kart 8 with the anti-gravity. Imagine Rainbow Road. Anti-gravity Mario Kart 8 blew my
That
mind.
level. That level.
Actually, it was the guy I was interviewing. He was the one who
Mind
said
melt.
that.
Yeah.
Mind melt.
Mind melted. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Later, guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.